I just can't see why Canada wants to deport this family so much. Canada, of all places. Canada is kind of like one of those places where they save people, okay, without all the rigmarole run around, especially if it's easily proven what their plight is. But Tamari Lindo and his family in Canada, Tamari has done great things. He has made great strides. Canada could actually use him to their advantage. And for some reason, I feel like there is some person who is sinister as hell, who is sitting on a back burner waiting to do this experiment. An experiment. Let's send them back to Jamaica and see if any of them get killed. And then we'll have a big news headline, and then we'll help the rest of them. That's sick. Because why else are they trying to send them back? Last year, we covered the story of track star Tamari Lindo fearing deportation. And there were a lot of people who got in my comment section of that video, SouFLo, take this video down. They already got help. The Canadian government already gave them a reprieve. Go look it up. A reprieve means they get to stay in Canada and they'll be all right. By the time this comes around again or the issue comes up again, the family will have their papers straight and they'll have their stay in Canada. Y'all remember what I said back then? But now take down my video. My video was still up and it's still up on my channel right now. I said they're going to give them a temporary stay and that's only going to last a few months and then they're going to be right back in this situation again. Well, straight out of Canada, here we are again. Published on the 15th of September, 2025, 4 days ago. Track star Tamari Lindo fears deportation again as the 1 year reprieve that they were given comes to an end. This dude is super talented. Like, he has dreams of representing Canada at the Olympics. He won a gold medal at the 2025 Ontario University Athletics. That means he is right on the cusp of greatness, on the doorstep. He could have actually been one of the people this year that went to the World Championships representing Canada and winning medals in Canada's name. But he's caught up in this immigration stuff, and Canada, for some reason, just does not want to fully grant this family a stay, like an indefinite stay. So 1 year after the track star Tamari Lindo was granted a reprieve from deportation, his family is now once again facing the threat of being forced to move back to Jamaica. Some people leave Jamaica because they want to, just tired of the place, just want to go see somewhere else. Some people leave Jamaica because nothing nah guan, no money nah run, can't get the dollars and cents together, struggling financially and see greater opportunities overseas in other countries. Some people leave Jamaica because they are running for their lives, because people really have made up their minds that they're going to kill them. And apparently, this is Tamari Lindo and his family's story. Tamari Lindo, who is currently in his third year of health studies at York University, third year health studies at York University. It's not like he's in Canada not doing anything, not being progressive, not being productive. You're talking about a student athlete with stellar grades, super athletic, gold medal, super athletic. And this is who you're planning to send back? So he's currently in his third year of health studies at York University. He holds a gold medal from the 2025 Ontario University Athletics Championships. 2025. Just now. Damn. in the 60-meter hurdles. He says his dream is actually to go to the Olympics one day with Canada, representing Canada. Now, ever since I came here, these are his words. He said, ever since I came here, I always wanted to represent Canada. I can see it. I could even taste it because his feet are on Canada's soil already. But doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon, because Lindo says that his goal seems almost too far away to achieve. His family has an interview that is scheduled with the Canada Border Service Agency, or the CBSA as they call it, at the end of September. Today I'm doing this video is September 19th. So at the end of September, they will have to go before the CBSA, which is the Canada Border Service Agency, when Lindo says that they might be told, hey, you can't stay here anymore. The jig is up. You are being deported back to Jamaica for a lack of status. Here he goes again. He said, I knew it could happen, but I didn't expect it to happen. What a thing when you run Ghana people place and a beg for someone for catch you, because that's what it is. Any one of us who have to leave our birthplace, our homeland, and go overseas and then fight to get your status straight, you really run Ghana somebody else's house begging for some place to catch. And you know how people treat you when you don't have your own and you're begging, let me in, please. Let me stay here long enough to get myself together, please. And they're looking at you like, okay, we'll give you a couple of months. All right, hey, the couple of months are up. What are you doing? We're about to send you back. Okay, we'll give you, and you have to keep begging. Could I at least have a couple more? Could I at least have another year? All right, we'll give you one more year. That does something to the mind, where even if you're working on something, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You can't really build because there is no peace, no comfort, no stability, no surety, because every year it keeps happening. Oops, you're about to go back again. Now, last July, the family was granted a 1-year reprieve when we covered the same story, following public outcry at their possible deportation. A lot of people were gathered in the streets for them, holding up placards for them. A lot of advocates were out speaking on behalf of the family. Advocacy group Migrant Workers Alliance for Change announced at that time that the Lindos had received a temporary resident permit from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, which they call the IRCC. Now, both the CBSA and the IRCC told CBC Toronto news media that they cannot provide any information on the private details of a specific case, but that multiple steps are carried out in the process to ensure procedural fairness. The timely removal of inadmissible foreign nationals plays a critical role in supporting the integrity of Canada's immigration system, is what they said. That is troubling. The timely removal of inadmissible foreign nationals. Wow. That kind of sounds to me like there's somebody is itching to send them back. The timely removal of inadmissible foreign nationals. Well, the IRCC said that all asylum claims are assessed individually and that there is no guarantee that a claimant will be allowed to remain in Canada at all. So basically, you could run to Canada, you could say, they're going to kill me in my country, please give me some place to stay here. I promise I'll be a good citizen. And they'll tell you, well, we're going to have to look into your case to see if your claim is true. Do they really want to kill you back in your country? So they actually go and do some kind of research where they'll work with the law enforcement officials out of Jamaica. Were there any police reports made? Did you lose any family members to violence? All that kind of stuff that adds up to them that you might be on the run trying to save your life, right? They said that we understand that these sort of situations are incredibly difficult and they do empathize with the families. Then they said in an email, a decision to remove someone from Canada is not taken lightly. The IRCC then added that people who are subject to removal from Canada, they may be eligible to apply for a pre-removal risk assessment. I'm guessing his family has done all of the above. These people, according to their words, have been through trauma. And all they're trying to do is get their footing down so they can have Lindo excel in life. Lindo says that the family traveled from Jamaica to Canada 6 years ago to avoid political persecution. If you think about 6 years ago, the Jamaica Labour Party was in power. Andrew Holness is now on to his third term as Prime Minister. Now, I'm not saying that the violence that reached their family came from the Jamaica Labour Party. I don't know. I'm just saying that's who was in power. Maybe they were supporting the JLP and factions of people who are the opposition were after them. Maybe it was vice versa. But their stake, filing for asylum, their claim is that they had to run for their lives 6 years ago due to political persecution. So he applied for permanent residency in the last year. But the process, as you see, can be pretty lengthy. Lindo's grandmother was a member of parliament for the official opposition in the Caribbean. That means she would be a member of parliament for the People's National Party if it's 6 years ago, because the ruling party for over 10 years now, or going on 10 years now, has been JLP, right? All right, walk with the story. So his grandmother was a member of parliament for the official opposition, which is the PNP. Lindo's father, George Lindo, also volunteered and helped campaign with the People's National Party. So now everything is coming out. Wow. So his granny was in parliament and his father helped with the campaign and volunteered, promoting around the country, helping with the campaign for the People's National Party, which is why the family says they are at risk. Well, I can tell you this without even going any further into their story, that if so be the case, now that we know what particular party they were aligned with, so they are PNP then, and some JLP people want to kill them. Rotted. Well, JLP just got back in power again for another term. So if their story is true, then that means they're still in danger, right? The track star's father survived 3 assassination attempts in Jamaica. A 2024 news release from Migrant Workers Alliance for Change put that report out, that Lindo's father actually survived 3 assassination attempts. He said it gets serious down there when it comes down to that stuff, when it comes down to politics. He recalls having to go into hiding for a couple of months and that his father being chased after in their neighborhood, running for his life because men were chasing him down. That was a very traumatic experience. Even when I came up to Canada for the first time, I was very paranoid because Canada has a large Jamaican population in the part of Canada where they ended up. So could very well be that enemies from Jamaica are actually also there in Canada, kind of like the people who are into certain things in Jamaica, I always tell them, if you really want a clean break and you're coming to the US, don't come to places like Brooklyn, New York. Don't go to places like even Queens. Don't go to places like the Bronx. Don't go to places like Miami. Don't go to places like Fort Lauderdale. These places have a strong concentration of Jamaicans, and you're likely to run into your enemies or those who want to harm you there. You're going to have to choose one of the places where they're not so much there, right? So he said the whole event, the whole experience, hiding for months, seeing his father run down the street, men running after him to harm him, that left them paranoid, scared. It was traumatic. I had to be looking over my shoulders every time because I was so uncertain and I was very scared for a very long time. This is even after migrating to Canada. And then he says he really loves Canada. So the family's immigration lawyer, Aidan Simardone. Aidan Simardone said that the family is facing a serious risk, and there's two sides to every story. One is that the risk that you're facing going back to your own country. The other is your ties that you have to Canada. If someone who is facing a death sentence in their own home country in Jamaica and is winning gold medals for Canada cannot stay in Canada, I really don't know who can. Think about that. Someone who is facing death threats in his own country but has made good with the time he's been given in Canada to where he's been winning gold medals for Canada. How can he not be allowed to stay in Canada? Lindo says that he received word of the new deportation threat as soon as he came back from competing in the Canada Summer Games this year. So he's still an athlete. He's still dedicated to athletics. He still trains. He still competes. He still wins at a high level, even with all this going on. Knowing that this could potentially happen has really played a big part in my mental health. When I compete, I can't focus properly. And I could see why. He says he can't focus properly because obvious reasons, right? You hear training, you winning gold medals, you running good, and then boom, hey, you're going to have to leave. And then here's the thing. If he goes to Jamaica, people might not even want him to compete. What track club is he going to join? Does he have the resources like he has in Canada? And not only that, the threats on his life. So Linda says that he's hopeful that people will continue to speak out on their behalf about this case and reaching out to members of parliament, saying the situation is just heartbreaking. He said, I love Canada, man. I love Canada. This is the safest place for us right now. And if I'm deported, I would have to give up so many things that I've built here and so many things that I've wanted to achieve here. Thanks to Gabriela Silva Ponte for bringing this story to us. Now, I'm convinced that some of us really don't like our own people. Some of us really like to see our own people go through hell. Like the ones after hearing their plight and their story, the story is unique. Like I said before, people leave for different reasons. Some people leave because they themselves were gunman, badman in Jamaica, and they found people better than them, tougher than them, and they're running for their lives, so they pretend, oh, my life is in danger, save me. Some people leave because their sexual orientation and the area they come from, people really run them down and chop them up and lick them down with big stone. Some people, batty boy, run away. Some people leave because they are politically affiliated at a more advanced level. Not just put on a shirt and say JLP or PMP, but your family members are intricately into that party. Granny is member of parliament. Dad works with Granny. He's the ground soldier who organized the army, promote for the wins. And man want knock off him head out a road. Election was coming around. So we're on the run, with a promise to kill every member of your family. Listen, then come the Jamaicans who read story or listen to stories like these when we cover them, and instead of being an advocate, like if you're in Canada, you should be one of the people who are actually reaching out to the authorities in Canada as an advocate on behalf of this family. If enough people ring their phones, it will be at the forefront of their mind to give this family a stay and get it out the way. But no, some of us are so devious in our hearts. We want this family to go back to Jamaica. I see the comments on my last video. Well, them never born in Canada, so back to your yard you go. Go home and fight it out. And these kind of stupid ass comments. Right now, this young man is doing great things. He is poised for greatness. And I see nothing but a big obstacle in his way, which Canada has the power to remove. So the world can witness a success story, and Canada could be thanked for that success story. I know he's going to do good. You can see it in him. I've watched his tapes. I've seen him run. I've seen him compete. He's born for this. He just needs a stable ground to launch from. And the rest will be celebration because he's doing the hard work. And so much pressure must be on him, right? Because to think about it, his whole family is dependent on this for him to run and compete and be somebody that Canada finds value in. Enough to say, we're going to save you because we need you, or we can use you, which he's willing to do. But we'll save your family as well. So you have your supporting unit around you and together. Obviously, if they start picking off his family members, send dad back, but let him stay, that's going to be disruptive to the family, breaking the family apart. Send your siblings back, but you stay because you can run. That's going to be debilitating to the family as well and to his mental health. He won't be able to compete properly. He'll be in Canada living good, worried about his sister and his brother in Jamaica ducking gunshots or running from somebody who wants to kill them. Let the family stay. Jeez, they've let worse people stay. They've let people with less, way less to offer stay. Let the family stay. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this story. And I told y'all last year when we covered the story, for those of you who was telling me about SouFLo, take down the story, man. Them already get help. Them good. Didn't I tell you that this was going to happen again? Okay, well, here we are, and it's happening again. I'll continue to cover this story, and I hope for the best for this family. I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.